Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson will be entitled Caught Up in the Third Heaven. Lord, will you are edified. My source, Jason A. And his video is entitled The Truth is Stranger Than You Think. Lord, will you are edified.
But I think people have responded to it because you write so honestly about every sort of corner and facet of your life. Like you talk very poignantly about the near-death experience that you had, and you saw the white lights.
Yes.
What was that?
In my case, I had been bleeding into my brain for several days before I went to the hospital, and I became unconscious when I got there. I fell out of the truck and I became unconscious. And once I got on that gurney, all of a sudden, that was it. And I was just gone. And I felt myself kind of do this sweep upwards. And there was this just like tunnel of light.
She said she felt herself doing a sweep, going upwards. Keep this in mind. Ecclesiastes 3:21. Who know the spirit of man that goeth upward? Okay. Now, when you analyze upward in Hebrew, it means above or higher, meaning what? Going into the third heaven or the fourth dimension, or the spiritual realm, okay? And the spirit of the beast that go downward to the earth. More proof, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord. I knew a man in Mashiach above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell. The Most High know. Such and one caught up to the third heaven. Let's focus on caught up in the Greek.
Strong's G 726. Harpazo. Harpazo.
Meaning what? To seize, carry off by force. Meaning your spirit leaving its flesh or the flesh. All right, and this is summons by Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua. Okay, to seize, carry off by force. Our spirit leaving the flesh and going into the spiritual world, or the third heaven, or the fourth dimension. Okay, to snatch out or away, referring to our spirit leaving the flesh. Okay. More proof. Use of divine power, transferring a person marvelously and swiftly from one place to another. Okay. Our spirit departing the flesh, leaving the realm of earth and entering into the spiritual realm.
Got there. I fell out of the truck and I became unconscious. And once I got on that gurney, all of a sudden, that was it. And I was just gone. And I felt myself kind of do this sweep upwards. And there was this just like tunnel of light. And I was swooping up through this tunnel of light. And at the top of it,
So what's happening? Use of divine power, transferring a person marvelously and swiftly from one place to another, to snatch or catch away. Hey, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Okay, and for this to happen, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua has to sign off on it. Okay. Ecclesiastes 3:21. Who know the spirit of man, they go upward, above, higher, referring to the spiritual realm, okay? And the spirit of the beast that go downward to the earth. Second Corinthians 12:2. I knew a man in Mashiach above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell. The Most High know, such an one caught up to the third heaven. Verse 3. And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. The Most High know. Verse 4. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words which it is not lawful for a man to utter. Meaning what? Once Apostle Paul arrived into the spiritual world, okay, it was so beautiful. He could not put it in words, okay? And he stated how this third heaven was paradise. Luke 23 and verse 43. Now, this conversation is amongst Yahushua and that benefactor that repented, okay? And Yahushua said unto him, verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise, the spiritual world, the third heaven, okay? And guess what? Edomites and these other nations go there as well, which proves the point. There is no such thing as hell, okay? Because even Sharon Stone was almost there. Let's get Job, the 3rd chapter. All right. Now, at this time frame, Job was catching so much hell, he wished he was dead, okay? He wished he would have died during the process of his mother giving his birth, okay? Job 3:11, why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the spirit when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept, then had I been at rest. Meaning what? From a spiritual standpoint, total comfort. Why? Because of this paradise. okay, you dwell in, or we dwell in. Verse 14, with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Verse 16, or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been, as infants which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling. There is referring to the third heaven, the spiritual realm, the fourth dimension, okay? Also classified as a paradise. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest.
It was kind of a hole, and several people that I had been very close to or had been their caretakers until they died.
There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together, they hear not the voice of the oppressor, Salakia. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master, okay? And there is referring to this spiritual world, okay? The third heaven, fourth dimension, paradise. Ecclesiastes 3:16, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. See, judgment takes place on earth. What's under the sun? Earth, okay? And hell is nothing but a condition. And also, heaven, depending on the context, is nothing but a condition. Okay, for example, at this time frame, us Israelites are in hell. Why? Because we are in Esau's heaven. And Esau's heaven, okay, makes our hell, and vice versa. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Okay? So when you die, you go to the spiritual world. Everybody goes there. And then you come back during the third or fourth generation. Okay? And judgment takes place on earth. Last precept. Matthew 25. And verse 20. No, it's like it. Matthew 25 and verse 33. You know what? Let's start at verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, referring to Yahushua, and his glory is talking about the second coming, his second coming, and all the holy angels with him. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them from another, as a shepherd divide his sheep from the goats. Verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, Israelites, okay, beginning with the elect, based on the lineage of their fathers, but the goats on the left. And the goats is referring to these other nations, beginning with the nation of Edom. Okay, and guess what? This also occurs in the spiritual world. And how do we know? Let's go to Matthew 6 and verse 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Okay? In the spiritual world, there is a separation. Okay? Which consists of the sheep being on the right hand of Yahweh and Yahushua. And on the left, you have these other nations. However, all parties are in peace. Lord, will you edify. Shalom.